Hey everybody, welcome to the greatest crossover event in YouTube history. Major beef will be squashed, somebody's hopes and dreams will be ruined. There's a lot of backstory I'm going to go through real quick so you understand the stakes and really what's going on here. But basically there was this Mario movie, slight controversy. Was it Kino? Was it Cringe-o? Who can say oh? A lot of people had a lot of opinions. Oh. Starting with Kino Corner and EmpLemon, they made this video talking shit about Mario. Some hateful things were said. Then Florian Game Squid on YouTube, everyone, over on the Anti-Reviews channel, made an even more hateful, truly just, spewing hatred out of his mouth about this EmpLemon Kino Corner collab video, making many accusatory dialogues towards the both of them. And now I've brought everybody together, plus E-Rich and, of course, EmpLemon. And we're all here to squash the beef and really have the debate and figure out once and for all, is the Mario movie Kino or not? EmpLemon, why did you come to do this?
Well, Mumkey, I came here for the simple reason that I had another golden opportunity to complain about Nintendo on the internet. And when people give you free lunch, as Mr. Wonderful said, you gotta take it. You gotta take the free lunch. I am taking this opportunity to once again complain about Nintendo. The movie is almost 45 days old at this point, but we don't care. We don't care. We are going on the airwaves once again. I will become known as Nintendo's greatest hater, especially to all the Nintendo dork fanboys out there.
And the man who might be Nintendo's biggest lover and defender, the one and only Florian Himzel.
Yeah, I'm actually completely divorced from playing any Nintendo games, and I just really love the Mario movie, and it just turns my stomach to know that people are so mad at this beautiful movie. What the hell is wrong with you people?
Florian, it's easy to love a movie and know that probably everybody else hates it. I mean, how do you think I feel about Sallow? I'm not going to try to convince other people to love that movie, but, it's definitely a movie I love in my heart, and I'm happy just with that.
That is the voice, and I am recording the screen because everybody gets confused when we have Kino Corner and E-Rich at the same time. So, look for Mr. Eye Patch on screen if you want to hear Kino talking. But I brought Kino in because Florian, and I'm hearing echo from somebody. Might be you, Emp. I see you highlighting a little bit. But Florian seems to think that perhaps Kino Corner lied about his Mario opinions, so I wanted us to have a chance to talk about that drama as well. And finally, for some reason, E-Rich, why did we drag you in here as well?
I feel like I never got the chance to properly review the Mario movie, so I'm going to take this episode as my chance to do that today.
Okay, well, now that I have all these Tasmanian devils off their leash, I can stop interrupting and let the true fireworks begin. Whoever would like to start screaming.
Well, I just want to say first and foremost that Florian said that I lied about my opinions because he obviously doesn't know that not bad and meh can be about the same when it comes to like how good a film is. When I say it's not bad, I mean like it's not terrible. It's not like a 2 out of 10 or 3 out of 10. Like it's not a movie.
Everett's got some fucking TV playing in the background, or I think he's watching the Dancing Frog on his phone.
But not bad and meh still comes to where I kind of see it as like a 5 or a 6 out of 10 film. Still not bad. It's average.
Meh shouldn't be 6 out of 10. That's crazy. Meh is definitely disparaging. What are you talking about?
Florian, you seemed under the impression, Florian, that Kino privately told you that he loved the movie, and then in front of Emp, who hated the movie, suddenly it was singing a sour tune. Is that not how you feel?
Well, Kino went into the room and he said the Mario movie was fun, full stop. Nothing else, and
it's fun, but it was super shallow. It was super shallow, wow. And I didn't really get anything out of it, and and it didn't like make me think of anything. It was like a little. It was kind of like going on a roller coaster ride, but like at like one of those smaller amusement parks. It doesn't really last that long.
Florian, what you're witnessing with the Kino Corner here is my powers of persuasion.
No, that's what I said.
It's not really that bad, but after 25 minutes in the room with EmpLemon, that's all it took. That's all it took for him to get pulled closer to the correct opinion about this film.
Yep, he just folded right in. I'm glad we all agree on that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a direct quote from Florian's video. Kino, tell me if you agree with this. Kino Corner is meant to stand up for truth in movies, but buckles under the pressure of EmpLemon.
Why would I stand also the thing is what's the truth? When it comes to a subjective opinion on a movie.
Okay, here's the thing I want to say to you, Florian. Your entire thing is ranting about critics when it's literally that critic's opinion. They are coming with some amount of experience from having watched movies, and they're giving their opinion about the movie. Like, what do you not get about that?
Yes. I mean,
it's literally someone's opinion. Like, you can discard the opinion as much as you want. You don't have to be triggered by it. But if someone doesn't like something you like,
the right to be triggered by it, and critics definitely are taken seriously, and people judge if they're going to see a movie based on what critics say. Okay, you can't deny
who
that,
does?
right?
Who does?
Not what you were
Florian?
saying in your response video.
To cut you off a little bit, Florian, I think that you care more about the critics than I think anybody else, especially with regards
well
to this
spotted.
movie.
That was the whole theme of my anti-reviews channel.
You've made more, as Erich pointed out in the chat a couple days ago, you've made more videos on just responses to Mario, where I think your responses to Mario are longer than the actual movie itself.
The movie, yeah.
Yeah, it's because there's just so much there. I mean, have you actually seen them? Because they are not crazy repetitive. There's so many critics have just so stupid ideas that I just have to talk about them. And my audience wants to see this. This is the main thing that you click on my anti-reviews channel is me shitting on critics. So yeah.
Florian, the thing that I do with critics is I find some critics that I like that express the things that I generally feel about the movies, and then I follow them. I don't care about the tomato meter. I don't care about a critical consensus. I find people that I generally tend to overlap in taste and go with them.
Armand White.
No, yeah, exactly. Armand White every day.
You guys, I don't know. Let me lean in here, and maybe we're all accidental hypocrites. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like just from our Is It Kino private group chat, there are plenty of times where we were all excited to see perhaps the new Charlie Day movie, and then as soon as that tomato meter came out, 15% critic score, I don't think any of us went and saw the movie, did we?
I did.
I didn't even know that it existed until you guys talked about it.
I went and saw it.
Yeah, so I was under the impression that after we all saw that, it was kind of, there's no more gas in the tank for that film. I definitely decided not to see it just because why would I waste my time and money if it's a big piece of shit? So maybe it's just me who will not see something if it's, really low score.
Counter that, the video that right before we shot the Mario video, Emp and I did a video on Gummo, which we both think is great. We both really like, and that has a Metacritic score of 19 out of 100. So we were going against the grain, and I don't care that the critics at the time didn't like it. I don't care about that. And sometimes if something has a really low Metacritic score, I'll actually go out and seek it because you don't necessarily know why, and it might just be that film is a little too forward thinking, like I think Gummo was for its time.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning more towards what am I willing to spend my time and money on? And Gummo you can watch for free, so it's not really relevant. Like this Fool's Paradise or whatever, I decided not to.
Is more relevant than.
No, I'm saying what I'm saying right now is I did not go to the theater and spend money on this movie because of the score. I might see it when it's at home for free, like Gummo is, but that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, there's a big hypocrisy out there with all these Nintendo-loving losers, these Mario review boosting losers, where they claim to not care about the Rotten Tomatoes score because when it came out it was fucking shit for the Mario movie, rightfully so. They claim to not care about it, but as soon as that score became known, you literally see Rotten Tomatoes trending on Twitter with a bunch of people talking about how they don't care. Well, clearly you do care because you took the time out of your day to type up your little rancid Twitter reply about it and talk about how it doesn't matter and talk about how you don't feel shameful for it having a lower critic score than the Sonic movie, which they clearly did. You talk about how much you don't care, but it's clear through your actions that you do. And then when you when the review score opened up and you love bombed the movie to 96%, oh, greatest movie ever, you seem to care about it there, just to stick it to the critics. So this whole talk where everyone always says, oh, I don't care about Rotten Tomatoes scores. In this case, they did. They clearly did. And then they're trying to pretend like they didn't. But they did. They got massively butthurt. And that reflected as a kind of an FU to the critics to arbitrarily pump up the score for this movie that really did not deserve such a claim.
I'm glad that we can all agree that we do in fact care what the critics say. Thank you. Yes, I never would say, oh, I don't care about them, because I specifically want to wage war against these critics, you know?
But I think your problem is you're going too far in the opposite direction, where you think that the audience score says anything about the quality of the film.
I mean, it definitely does.
The audience score doesn't say anything.
No, go ahead.
I mean, the audience score definitely says a lot. Like, it's just random people, and they have opinions on the movie,
The audience score is the most easily manipulated, because with like on Rotten Tomatoes and on Metacritic and whatever other site, you know, you have to be a verified critic, right, to get that score.
Well, there. Sure, now, it may be manipulated.
Like with the audience score, anybody can, like, you can have multiple accounts, and you can totally just like love bomb a film, or you can, or you know, if you don't like it because it's, because you perceive some of the marketing as woke or something like that, you can, you know, you can review bomb it just as easily.
That can happen, but whenever it doesn't happen, the score has meaning still. Like,
but it does happen for like every big film. It happens in every single scenario, either positive or negative. Well, people either brigade to love the film and boost the score, or they brigade to hate on it and lower the score.
I still take it over the critics.
So critics are more likely to be like, hey, you know, this is a good movie. It had some problems. You know, I'm giving it like an 8 out of 10, or I'm giving it a 7 out of 10 or something like that. The audience, you talk to audience members and they're like, oh yeah, it was a good movie. 5 out of 5, 5 bags of popcorn, you know, or oh, no, I didn't like it. 1 out of 10. No.
Well, Kino, here's another direct quote. Here's a direct quote from Florian. I want to know if you agree with this. Florian says, people who watch a lot of movies, so critics, they get bored easily, and therefore they don't like mediocre things, unlike, you know, the audiences who they can enjoy mediocre things.
Is that supposed to be a good statement for critics?
I'm asking if you agree.
No, because I would say no.
You don't agree that audiences like mediocre things? You don't agree with that? Are you sure?
No. You didn't let me finish, Florian.
Sorry.
That whenever you see any of these movies, right, you can see that there's usually critics who like whatever, who give like 8 out of 10s to
Doug Walker.
Like, it's, you know, there's actually much more diversity of opinion within the critics. You're looking at the one score. But if you go into the actual reviews from the different critics, you can see that there's much more of a diversity of opinion, ranging from people who hated it to people who loved it.
And they can actually articulate their opinion, unlike fanboys.
Yeah, well, Doug Walker can especially articulate his opinion. He's my favorite critic.
Yeah, I'm looking for many critics who can't articulate properly, you know, if you know any.
But, you know, like, and I just, like, as somebody who watches movies all the time, you know, sometimes I can enjoy a mediocre film, knowing that it's a mediocre film, because I don't want to watch something that's great. I want to watch something that, like, I can turn my brain off, have a, like, decent time, know that, you know, there's tons of plot holes, know that it's probably kind of dumb.
Well, going off of that, Kino, I've got a quote to read to EmpLemon right now. During his response, Florian was outraged that somebody would rather watch a terrible movie like The Room rather than a mediocre movie like Mario. Emp, could you explain that mindset to Florian?
Okay, well, first of all, I don't understand this mindset that Florian is trying to project, where somehow mediocrity is a positive trait. It is not. When you call something mediocre, that is a negative term. That is a criticism against whatever you're talking about. I don't want to watch something that showed no ambition, no risk-taking, it's like it doesn't even have the potential for greatness. You're punting the football. You're just punting the football down the line. You're never just going to do anything. You're putting yourself in good field position using analytics and focus testing or whatever to create this lukewarm milquetoast thing that a bunch of people are going to kind of enjoy, sort of, rather than rolling the dice, something that requires actual ambition. Because it's easy. It's easy to punt the football. And it's lazy.
So what's your rating out of 10 in that case for this movie?
Well, my rating for this movie would be like a 2 out of 10, but most people will probably see it as a 5 or 6 out of 10. And my main point is just that I don't respect when studios with $100 million in budget, they have the potential to do anything, to buy anything, and they just release a safe, by the numbers thing, going through the checklist. I don't respect it. I don't respect it. I think it's not a creative exercise.
Okay, so
I would put a little counterpoint there is that when you have $100 million in budget, obviously the stakes are a lot bigger. Like basically, you know, the bigger budget that you have, the more the studio has to be assured that you're going to make that money back. And
I mean, I get it, but there used to be a time in filmmaking where they just let the director go nuts with the money.
Yeah, like we were supposed to review yesterday Master and Commander, which had a $150 million budget in 2003, which today would probably be probably around $200 million budget. And it's an incredible film that...
Hey, we'll get to that. I want to give Florian a chance to respond to Emp's moving words.
Well, I assumed that mediocre meant average quality, but... So would you say that 6 out of 10 is mediocre then? Because I thought that should be above average at least.
Oh, it's like slightly above.
6 out of 10 could mean a lot of different things. It could mean an ambitious movie that tried a lot of stuff and failed on a lot of it, but some of the stuff was executed well. Or it could just mean like, it was a crowd pleaser and I felt kind of good. Because 6 out of 10 is open-ended. But in general, specifically regarding the term mediocre, I do not consider it a positive term. I consider it, or at least how I use it, it's used to describe when the filmmakers just had no ambition and they were spineless, and they'd made spineless decisions that showed no moxie at all in wanting to make something creatively vibrant or distinct.
So what does Kino think about the word mediocre?
I agree with Emp. Like, you can say something that's like mid or average, and that isn't necessarily a criticism. I mean, it kind of is. Mediocre is like saying something is average to a fault.
Well, that's pretty... I mean, Emp seems to think that it's as bad as it gets.
No, it's not as bad as it gets, but we're
2 out of 10.
Well, it indicates to me a lack of effort. That's what I read mediocre as, where I put a lot of the fault on the creators instead of the product, where the product is like, it's fine. You know, I'm sure Temu ships out plenty of mediocre products, but it's not something you want to celebrate and call the greatest thing ever.
I think to reframe the question, maybe, Emp, what is more appealing about watching The Room than watching Mario? Because I think Florian really does not get that.
It is refreshing to watch a movie that is not made by a committee where there's one creative voice and there's one guy calling the shots. Even if it comes out poorly, even if it's poorly executed, I prefer to go a movie where it's clearly someone's vision. It can be a stupid vision. It can be a vision where they have no idea what they're doing. They're biting off more than they can chew. But I will always prefer that as a viewer compared to something that was just drugged through the committee, drugged through the sausage grinder to come out with an unrecognizable slurry where you don't know who is creating what. There's no distinct creative choices in there that you can trace back to any one person. It's almost like it was just created by AI. That you jammed it through an AI and it just comes out with this product that kind of sort of looks good. I always value singular visions more, even if they're bad. So that is why I would literally prefer to watch The Room versus the Mario movie again.
Yeah, and it's always more fun to watch a movie where the filmmaker swung for the fences and completely failed, like in the terms of Room, than to watch a movie where they set off to just be like an average film that just hits all of your expectations from the get-go.
Well, I personally hate The Room, and I watched The Room, and I had no joy in it, and I can't stand that people just apologize for The Room and say what a great wish it was, you know.
I don't think that people
annoyed.
apologize. I think that
I
you're
apologize
mixing
for
up
The
a lot.
Room.
Does.
I apologize for The Room. It's an American.
It was very much aimed at Monkey.
It is the American dream come to life on film. Like, who has the story of Tommy Wiseau, let alone Johnny and his tragic story that we can all relate to? But we're not here to dissect The Room again, Florian.
Yeah, no, we should definitely move back to the Mario movie. So Everich, I guess. Well, let's get your opinion real quick, because do you think it's worse than mediocre, or is it? What's your rating? No, your rating is 4 out of 10.
I was gonna say I gave it 2 stars on Letterboxd. I would say mediocre is about right for the movie. I think the movie looks great. I think they did a really good job translating what is in the video games onto the screen. It's just that on a story level, on a watching the Mario character go from thing to thing to thing, there is no actual heft or like anything worth seeing from that story. I think the problem is like they took what is a very bare bones like narrative from the games and then added almost nothing, because I think like Nintendo is afraid to do anything different with their property, because the Super Mario Brothers movie from the like 90s is insane. I almost like that movie more just for like taking such a big swing and like making such a grimy, weird fucking thing with something like Mario, rather than just doing a very straight up, like, just bland Mario movie.
I mean, we know that didn't work out. We know that movie.
No, totally.
Well.
But like Emp was saying, like I enjoy a noble failure more than just a mediocre like first base hit.
Well, I certainly disagree fully with everything there, because I think that the story is as good as it can be. It's the Super Mario movie. You're not gonna have like a crazy, for no reason, crazy subversive story. I think that's just a crazy concept. And
but here's the thing, Florian.
I think there needed to be a little bit more sex in the Mario movie.
There you go. Gotta make gross shit to make it appeal to the critics.
They do change the essential.
It's natural, man. It's natural. Everyone does it.
Rich, what are you saying?
Wow.
Yeah, they changed the essential narrative of the games because Princess Peach cannot be a damsel in distress. So, because of that, you have a character, Princess Peach, who can do everything that Mario is doing, and she is just kind of leading Mario, a guy who cannot do everything, through a series of gauntlets where there is no stakes because she can just do it herself. So there is no like danger. There's no like.
What are you talking about? That is like none of that makes any sense.
She has an obstacle course at the very beginning of the movie, and she's like, "You have to be able to do this obstacle course to do what we're going to do." And then she does it herself, and then Mario cannot do it; has to fail a bunch of times, and then eventually succeeds. But why do you need Mario?
What are you talking
that
about?
part didn't make much sense to me.
Florian, I'm not seeing the grandiose, like, excellent orchestral story you're talking about here. To me, the story was extremely lazily compiled and showed a complete lack of inspiration or imagination.
It was basically
let me
taking
respond
us
to
through all
Erich
the different
first,
Mario
okay?
games.
Okay, so Erich, that fucking obstacle course, it was just a thing that Peach made. It's not representative of it.
You didn't make it. You didn't make it.
Well, I assume she had it in some way. I thought it was supposed to be like Mario Maker stuff, right? So it's user made, I assume, because it was like fake traps and everything, and it respawns if you die.
Oh, it's like they had her. Supposedly, that's been a mainstay. They had her do that when she was a kid, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, maybe, but the point is
the
that
movie
you
love so much, and you do not know.
I mean, it's possible. It's just like it's just an obstacle course, so she can see if he's ready to live in this world. And I think, I mean, he did well, and that's why it was there. He learned how to live in this crazy world with all these crazy obstacles, and she super fucking needs him later. She definitely gets saved by him. I don't know what you're talking about. She definitely gets damseled, and she would have never gotten the Kong army without him. So. I don't even see how that makes any sense that you say that they've ruined the story by making this movie this way, because
Yeah, and by the end, the threat has been moved to New York City, and the Mario brothers work together to save the real world as well. So I think it's safe to say Mario gets trained up from a nobody to a real hero by the end.
Yeah, it's a beautiful.
Yeah, no, he
story.
does. I did like the fact that he has to go through training, but the circumstances in which does it are a little bit shaky because supposedly there's this invading army and she has to go out like ASAP to get help, and then she's like, oh, actually we're gonna stay back a couple days so that you can train.
Maybe.
But that's incredibly stupid. Why don't you have people who
it's
can
not
do this?
incredibly stupid.
No, like
Yes, it is.
it could have been, honestly, it could have been solved by just like having him go there, and then she's like, hey, if you're gonna be like living here, you should do this training course so that you can get around our town. Then when he's doing it is when the threat appears. I don't know. It's just to me, it just feels like, oh, we're getting the ball rolling on this, but now we're gonna stop the momentum this training session.
I mean,
then we're gonna get it back.
She didn't lose a whole lot of time. I assume she just went to bed normally, and then in the morning he had achieved the obstacle course. Come on, like this isn't a big problem with the movie, right?
But like, what? Forgive me if I'm forgetting details, but why was it motivated that Mario has to be the one to help save the day? I get that Luigi got
'Cause she loves it,
captured and he has
why.
to rescue Luigi, but like, why does Mario, if he's clearly unskilled at navigating and combat, why does he have to be the one to help save the world again?
He's the second best thing. Everyone else is fucking toad people who can't do anything. I mean, that made sense, and I actually enjoyed that.
Yeah, like
that they did
Bowser
it
has
that
a
way.
fucking flying castle, and Rich is like, well, Princess Peach, why can't she just stop the entire army by herself? Why would she want one other human?
Yeah, no.
The Toad people are good
Hey,
enough.
if this was Star Wars, that would be the case.
Yeah, you just need one good Force user and fucks up the whole fucking army.
No, but at least Star Wars has the Force to say this is the reason why this guy is so good. Mario just like is a
Where's
guy.
the guy?
If you had an army of 2-foot-tall dudes with a mushroom on their head, Rich, wouldn't you at least want one dude to help you, for fuck's sake?
He's a little taller.
Okay, like these are the details though that lead me to believe that the story was just like lazily compiled. Because like why is this like a big end of the universe war showdown movie when it should have just been like a simple adventure film where they like go through the world? If you're gonna like do the plot where Mario has to like go to Bowser, just have him like go through the worlds, and like Luigi is just doing nothing the whole time. He's just kidnapped in a cage the whole time. Why was this not like an adventure film with Mario?
We
and
get it,
Luigi
Emp.
just
You're in a
exploring the
happy
world?
relationship. You can't relate to an incel rage-fueled movie, but the fact that it's about Bowser being an incel with rage who wants this, he has this one-itis, this one girl he lusts over, and he'll do anything for her, and then like he offers her the whole world literally, but just because he's a little ugly, she says no. I'm sorry you can't relate to that, Emp, but the
that's
rest of
why.
us found it to be beautiful.
Mario 2 is going to be about Bowser looks maxing.
It should be. How do you think Bowser Jr. comes to be? Bowser has to be fucking.
But seriously, I mean, you could say maybe it would have been better that way, but I don't think that would be like game changing. I don't think if people had if he had to go through the worlds and then only like slowly make progress instead of there being this looming threat, I don't think that would have made the movie better. Anyone else think that would have made the movie better?
I'm just saying that.
I think the movie plays like a 5-minute chunk every couple of minutes. So like you barely get into something before you just go on to the next thing.
There's no momentum or flow between scenes. Like they just go, it's like, oh, first we're in the
like
Mushroom
little
Kingdom, now
episodes.
we're in Donkey Kong World, now we're on Rainbow Road for no
And
reason.
the constant needle drops are very annoying to me.
I mean, it's like you could have integrated those settings a little better so they made a little more sense. I mean, like Mario's gone to space before in the games, the Mario Galaxy games. Why not go into space and then go into Rainbow Road? Why, like, they just literally abruptly go onto Rainbow Road just from the random terrestrial land? It just makes me think that, I don't know, maybe they took too much PCP or maybe they didn't take enough. But it's like the writers were just like, okay, now this happens and then this happens and then this
It
happens.
feels like a
We gotta
checklist.
put
It
in
feels
this.
like they were like, what do we need to put into a Mario movie so anyone can recognize it as a Mario movie? We need the carts, we need Rainbow Road, we need Fire Flower, They basically just went down a list of things, and that's what it feels like in the movie. It's just thing to thing to thing to thing to thing, and then the movie
and stuff is just there, completely unmotivated. And like these are the structural things that leads me to believe that they didn't really try to come out with anything cohesive with the world building or the story or anything. They just had a bullet list of elements, and then they stitched them all together however they could into just a somewhat satisfying product that sort of made sense if you just stop thinking about it.
So if you had just had longer parts between those settings where they walk, would that have made it better? Where you just see them slowly going from one place to another?
I just want artistic decisions in the movie to feel like they matter, to feel like there was thought put behind them, and to feel like they're not just arbitrarily put there saying like, oh look, it's another thing. Why is it there? No one knows? Okay.
Were you not moved by Mario and Donkey Kong in their character arc of learning about their father's expectations of them or whatever the fuck they shoehorned in? Were you not driven to tears by those scenes?
No, because Cranky Kong sounds like fucking
Fred Armisen?
Bernie Sanders for some reason.
Oh.
That was the issue, just the voice.
Well, the other thing, you know, talking about how it kind of felt shoehorned in. It's like they go and they say, hey, Bowser's trying to like take over the Mushroom Kingdom and you're next and we need to fight together. Okay, we'll help you if you play Super Smash Brothers with us for the next 5 minutes. You know, and then they shoehorn in like this emotional element when there's really kind of nothing behind it. Later, you know, it's like, yeah, Seth Rogen
that made
Donkey
sense.
Kong is just like this annoying.
No, it made sense. Like, why would the Kong army ally themselves?
Mario, but
like, why would they fight for the Mushroom people who do not have like a single warrior? Why would they ally themselves with them? It made sense that he had to fight Donkey Kong. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying that it's just kind of like, oh yeah, if you basically play Super Smash Brothers with us, like that just kind of felt like I'm trying to segue us into Smash scene.
I mean, it was a pretty rough
like
fight.
It was relevant
I
to
don't
the
know.
plot, more like it was.
Well, now that we're over half an hour in, let me ask
plot related
question for the whole panel here. Has anybody's feelings or thoughts on this film been shifted in either direction so far?
No.
Nope.
Probably not gonna happen. No. I guess it's all for nothing.
If anything, I feel more strongly about my initial conceptions.
That would be impossible. You already hate it more than anyone.
Okay, Florian, what do you think of this quote from EmpLemon? He says in the video, only a monkey-brained audience could enjoy the Mario movie. How do you agree with that? How do you feel about that one?
He's saying the Kongs would love it.
Yeah, they were hyped. You saw them cheer throughout the entire movie. I guess he's right.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I guess he's just really emotional on that one.
E-Rich, what do you think of this quote from Florian? The basics of filmmaking should be how to make a film that sells.
I mean, in that case, it would just be nothing but tits and ass and, I don't know, food ads the entire time
So I'm
for the
talking
American
about.
audience.
That's basically what Avatar was.
Okay, I guess you're right. I guess that does seem to work out. Yeah.
Yeah, Florian, why are you like phrasing your argument from like the perspective of the studio? What do I care if the studio makes fucking money over this movie? I want to be entertained, and
That's how he feels about art. He just wants, like, if it made more money, then it was better art. He said that the highest grossing movies are the list of the best ones.
Okay, well then,
Avatar
Florian, you make video
is-
games. It's like Clash of Clans and Candy Crush, the greatest video games ever made because they
Better
make the
than
most money.
Bullfrog.
Rip. I don't know. I guess you got me on that one. Sure. I guess people really like that. You know what? I've not played them. They might be good. They're probably awful, but they might be good.
Okay, E-Rich, tell me how you feel about this Florian quote. And I got more.
Yeah.
This is a good one. Okay, do you agree with this? Florian says, the story of the Pokemon anime is Ash's journey to find the perfect Pokemon.
Yeah, that is not what Pokemon is. Florian. Your basic just misunderstanding of what a lot of these things mean. And also, you haven't played a Mario game, right?
I played 64 ages ago.
Okay, I mean, like, it's just so odd to me that throughout the videos you were talking about how true to the games it was, and that since the movie was just like the games, people are okay to like that. But it makes a lot of changes to the games. And you do mention that as well, but the contradiction there does not seem to stick.
Well, he has another quote. He says, the Sonic movie was as good as it can be and also told the story of the games.
Now, I have not seen those Sonic movies, but I am under the apprehension that is not true at all.
Did the movie tell the story of the game?
No, the Sonic.
I think your opinion killed him.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I may have said that one wrong in some way. Just a bit of a brain fart there.
Yeah,
it's hard to hold you responsible.
Go ahead, Kino.
I think you need to do like more editing. I think you need to do like more editing on these videos. You know, you can go back and you're like, I'm not quite sure if what I said makes a lot of sense. Let me cut that out.
Yeah,
you know, let me condense this down.
I'm slightly sorry. Okay, I definitely feel like the EmpLemon video was worse than my YMS video. Okay,
Florian, what are you sorry for? Florian, what are you sorry for?
I said I wish I would have made the video better. He's right. Kino's right on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Emp, if you're talking,
the
there you
powers
go.
of persuasion have come in. Florian is coming around to the right side of history.
Florian's apologizing to the guy he's debating, so I think we know who won.
Look, I'm just. I came off stupid. I should have started off being more nice and only then gotten outraged at the stupid opinions.
Wait, so you no longer agree with your opening phrase of Emp is a green freak, crustache having guy?
Look, I'm sure that we can all agree that this entire thing is just about Emp being envious of Mario's mustache and nothing else.
It could be.
I guess Mario's mustache is kind of nice.
And maybe,
I know, right? It's pretty good.
Florian, does it not matter to you at all? They did not choose Italian American actors to portray the roles of Mario and Luigi in this movie.
No, that doesn't bother me in the slightest.
You have the perfect Mario voice in Charles Martinet, and you just throw him to the trash because Chris Pratt is a bankable movie star.
Chris Pratt did a really good job on this.
I don't believe you, and I don't believe you believe that.
The basics of filmmaking should be how to make a film that sells.
Well, they succeeded.
Not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, Florian does win the debate. Like, this movie made almost $2 billion.
Look,
That's
there's
not
only
I was gonna say earlier that we're all here complaining about this movie, and none of us are going to make any money. I mean, Mumkey might make what, $2 off of ad revenue on this.
Oh, I hope
the Mario
so.
movie has made over $1 billion, so they're just going to be laughing at us.
We should make
to date, it has made
podcasts.
$1.297 billion. It's nowhere close to $2 billion.
A lot closer than we are.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I think
about
that
$1.27 billion closer.
Yeah.
I think when lots of people buy movies, I think that's a great sign of quality. The only exception is sequels, because often the sequel gets more money even though it's worse. Like Frozen 2, absolutely terrible sequel. Endgame, way worse than Infinity War.
No, I don't think Mario is exactly the most original IP to make a movie about.
Well, it's definitely the first one, and the second one will make more money, surely.
Oh, there already was another Mario movie.
I mean, that's not necessarily true, Florian. Like, I was going to go to bat for the Lego movie in this conversation as a movie that is based on a brand that I think did a really good job of summing up why that brand is valuable and why kids would have fun with that thing. And the second Lego movie did terribly at the box office, whereas the first was a huge smash hit.
Okay, well, I guess there's exceptions.
Well, hey, let's do some constructive brainstorming here.
Way more insulated.
From the critics and from Florian, I would like to know, what would you like to see in the Mario sequel that would alleviate your hatred?
Who's this directed at?
Everybody, whoever has an idea.
I have an idea.
Go ahead.
Bowser kidnaps Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad and subjects them to 120 days of all kinds of...
Do they eat any shit? Because I heard from a certain reviewer that it was boring when that happened. That might be a quote from the Mario review.
Of course they do.
Yeah, it's pretty boring. Just feeding people shit. Come on, you can't think of anything better.
Yeah, that happens all the time in Germany.
Just all the time. I mean, yeah, okay, but let's try to be serious. No more fucking crazy edgy shit.
Yeah, I think they should bring in AVGN, Doug Walker, and Scott the Woz,
Some
and they can
real
all
gamers.
like hang out with Mario in the Mario movie, and then review Mario games in like Peach's Castle, and that'll be the sequel.
Wow, brilliant.
I think there should be like 8,000 tiny gold coins, and they drop them all over, and we're watching Mario bend over to pick them all up.
And his ass crack is showing the entire time.
Yeah, and he's like, ow, my back. Fuck. Why is there so many fucking coins?
But then it turns out that Wario has stolen all of the coins. How will he stop him?
Yeah, how about this? How about they do the Olympic Games and fucking Waluigi and Wario show up? Is Emp screaming at somebody in the background? Did I miss something?
No, I didn't say anything.
Not that I know.
Oh, okay. Something crazy's going on with this shit. Maybe that's just my own echo I was hearing. But anyway, we got the Kongs. You know, maybe we can open up the world. Bowser has a redemption arc, comes in with his family. And let's have like a sports Mario movie. Would that be more subversive, E-Rich?
No, I do think that might work, because what you have to do with this is maybe like put it into a genre mode. So like do a sports movie, like do like... There is a self-improvement angle. There is,
And the Olympics is a worldwide brand anyway, so fuck it, like, that appeals to everybody.
Nintendo and the Olympics calling the shots now.
Yeah, that's right.
I would love to see the Mushroom Kingdom ravaged by the Olympics being held in the city, and then after the fact, everyone just fucking hates the Olympics were held there.
They destroy the Mushroom Kingdom.
I would only like an Olympics. I would only really like an Olympics Mario movie if they perform the Olympics like how the ancient Greeks did, which is
Completely nude.
Well, finally,
and,
Gabe
covered in
Luigi
oil.
can get involved.
How about crossover with the other Illumination movies, Mario versus the Minions? $2 billion
Wasn't there
movie.
already like a Mario and like Raving Rabbits game? Aren't the Raving Rabbits?
Yeah,
like,
that's
basically
obviously
Minions
supposed
in
to
a
be
way?
the Minions, right? Fucking Illumination can just do it.
Yeah,
They're just gonna get the rabbits too? Oh my god.
can't get any worse, right?
E-Rich, tell me you would
Rabbits
not
are
go
the worst.
you would not wear a full suit and go to the theater to see the Minions Mario movie.
I mean, if the rabbits are there, I'll see it.
No! They've been
fuck the
replaced
rabbits.
by the superior Minions, for fuck's
No,
sake!
fuck off. I'm not gonna see a fucking Minions movie.
What?
That's what I realized. That's what I fucking realized watching this movie, is that this movie is for like
Minions
little
are Kino.
baby children. And
That's why
that
it's Florian's
I am-
favorite film of the year!
I am a grown-ass 30-year-old man, and I expect a base level of storytelling and like actual emotive character work. And it doesn't have to be a lot, it just has to be fucking there. It can't be tossed off like the fucking Donkey Kong thing. It can't be two brothers that were separated like at the beginning of the fucking movie and then they come back together, and the power of brotherhood or friendship or whatever the fucking defeats Bowser in the end. That just does not do anything for me. And the list of references along the way does not help it.
Now, stay tuned
think,
for
you know,
the
kinda,
future Spider-Verse
jumping on-
review
jumping
when
off
Kino
that.
loves all the references to Spider-Man.
Just jumping off of what you were saying, E-Rich, about how, you know, Luigi and Mario are separated at the beginning. I think that by separating them, they really sort of deprive the film of having a good brother chemistry and character development for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Luigi just does nothing the whole time.
Yeah, he's just
He
afraid.
hangs
It just
out with
seems like-
the child star that says macabre things. That was funny.
I love that guy. It's pretty good. Look, people clearly.
Just hangs out with Florian.
People
Just with Florian
definitely.
in there. Like, yeah, we're gonna die.
Hey, I
We're
would
gonna die. It's gonna be great.
I think
Well, I'm a
Doomer Star was
positive
a
one.
top tier character.
Yeah, he's great. Honestly, there's so much good shit in this movie. The characters are really nice. I enjoy most of them. Obviously, that Star is great, but the dynamic between the two brothers and how they have this job where they wasted all their money on that stupid commercial, and then they're really good plumbers. I really enjoy it. But then the
What?
dog.
But like the hijinks with the dog, that's like minion shit. That's just like
What are you
shit for
talking
little
about?
babies.
Dude, they were
Yes,
clearly
it's like-
bad
it's
at their
baby
job.
shit.
They were great
It's like
at the
Secret Life
job.
of Pets.
They
Yeah,
fixed
exactly.
that sink
That's exactly
in-
what it is.
They fixed that sink instantly, and then the dog destroyed the entire bathroom, and then they jumped
That's
out
not
the
Mario,
window.
though.
They
That
saved
is
the dog.
nowhere in Mario, Florian. Where in Mario has there been a fucking dog that goes against the brothers? The whole entire fucking. We have to set this in the real
there you go.
world.
We can't take any risks. I guess we just don't like it. We can't do anything new.
E-Rich is outraged. There was no dog in the game.
No, but like
That's Duck
you
Hunt
set
Dog.
things in the real world to establish any kind of stakes, I guess, for the audiences, because if it's just a magical mystery world, then it doesn't have any real stakes for the characters. And then suddenly everything is back in the real world at the very end, but then that doesn't actually matter either. And then they're just back in the Mushroom Kingdom at the end.
I mean, it mattered. What are you talking about? That was great. What? How did it not matter? What are you saying?
The entire world has now opened up incredibly. That there is a Mushroom Kingdom that exists within our real world. And Bowser came through and destroyed parts of New York. Florian,
Yeah.
that
I mean,
would completely change everything.
No, they're just gonna ignore it. Come on.
E-Rich, please.
It's not
Oh
gonna
my
change
God.
everything.
Guys,
Just another day in the city.
Just
Yeah,
use
we have
the,
to
Men in
stop.
Black, like,
We have
memory
to
erase.
Yeah.
stop. I think we can all agree to go to the overall point that these films are made for children to enjoy more than adults. Right?
And like, if you've got a little kid
Yeah.
and you enjoy taking your little kid to see the Mario
30-year-old man
references they
children,
know so
okay.
well. Well, that's the thing. My problem is with those like old ass men who need to be watching actual movies rather than going to war over the fucking Mario movie.
We're
That is
all
the
here
most
for a
mediocre
reason.
Piece of shit.
You insisted on coming here.
all five
You
of
weren't
us
even
saw
part
this
of
damn
this.
movie, paid for it, and we're debating it
Because
on the internet.
I paid my money to see it, and I did not like it, and now I need people to know how angry I am about that.
I agree with E-Rich. I agree.
So I don't
need everyone
know.
to know that it's great, and I can't wait for the sequel. Look, they may have slightly rushed the story, just ever so slightly.
Oh.
But they okay. Wow, cry about it. You always cry if the movie is slightly longer than 1.3, you know. And now this one is perfect length, and they got a lot done in this time, and it was all great. And in the sequel, they can do more. It'll be perfect.
Great,
Like
yeah.
to me, the
No more
encapsulation
shit.
of this
More
movie is that
references.
the Kongs for some
Double
reason are
reference.
making carts, and the selection
Triple
screen to
reference.
make the carts is just like in the video game, with no like actual like reason why it would be that way. The
It's-
world
that's
building
just
is
how you
literally
make it.
just
What are you talking
what can we
about?
throw into one space and just go with it from there.
Okay,
There's no
that's just
care.
insane.
There's no actual attention to detail. It's just
it's
throwing
just-
a bunch of shit into one corner and being like, "That's over there now."
Well, that's literally how the games work. Okay, he literally just gets into a world that's like a game. What a big surprise! It's like the games. Oh my god!
That's not how
Rainbow Road
movies
is right next
work,
to Peach's
Florian.
Castle, just like
you
in the
need
games.
to create a
Obvious.
narrative in which those things make sense, and this movie does not do that.
Yeah. It's just, and this happened, and this happened, and this happened. There's no like consequentiality to any of it. It's just like one event after the other, and then maybe
That's over.
if you're really lucky, some previous detail will carry over. But most of the time, it's just like arbitrary. Like you could probably rearrange scenes in this movie completely, and it would still make sense plot wise.
It's completely wrong. Like they go on a journey, and there's different things that happen for a reason. What are you talking about? Like, I'm so confused. Like there's reasons why they go to these places. Like they have the biggest army, so they have to go to the Kongs. But then they gotta be fast, so they take the Rainbow Road. And then Bowser overheard them, so he's now
Why
coming
is the
to
Rainbow
ambush them.
Road there, Florian? The Rainbow Road is in fucking space.
I mean, I don't know. Okay, game nerd.
Here's the thing: you don't know the fucking games. You don't know
The angry video game nerd.
You don't know the source material that this comes from. So when they mash everything together and call it one thing, you're just like, yeah, sure, that's what Mario looks like.
The promotional material for all the games. This checks out. This makes sense.
I can't wait for this game where it's all together. That'll be great. Can't wait to play the game that this is gonna be. You know. There's all these things.
Yeah, I don't know. I think E-Rich's hatred for the movie is getting me a little more on Florian's side at this point.
Hell yeah.
Like, man, this is a 30-year-old man who's really mad that the Mario movie didn't stick to the fucking game rules or whatever.
I've seen several animated movies in the past year that are leaps and bounds above the fucking Mario movie. The fucking Puss in Boots movie was so much better than this. That's operating off of fucking Shrek.
Shrek was like a Best Picture winner to begin with.
Great.
Yeah, Shrek is a masterpiece, dude. And
They invented the best animated picture category because they didn't want Shrek to win. That's a fucking fact. It's literally true.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Puss 2 is just like art style over everything, and they didn't even nail the art style. It looks
That's
stupid.
not true, though. There is literally a character arc for Puss in Boots in that movie where he starts one way, has a journey, and then develops an understanding for mortality.
Well, I guess the art
And he
style
also
still
has
sucked.
a very realistic panic attack.
Yes, and
Well-
people love that he has a fucking panic attack.
Well, the problems with the movie is that the art style sucked, and the beard joke was so fucking stupid. Okay, I apologize for ever having made a beard joke, but Puss in Boots has the worst beard joke ever, alright? And I cannot condone this. Puss 1 was alright, okay? They didn't need to reinvent the wheel and make it a bad wheel, okay?
Oh my god.
EmpLemon, did you have any final thoughts on the Mario movie? And would you like to also offer an apology to Florian for your opinions?
I will not apologize for hating Nintendo under any circumstances. Nintendo fanboys deserve to feel the pain. They deserve to feel the wrath. And one final gripe with the movie is why what was there licensed music? It's just like the score of the movie was one of the few things I liked, and they just had to completely ruin it by putting in. And I'm just sitting there why? This is the epitome for me of just they didn't care. These are people who don't care about Mario. They don't even seem to like Mario that much, and they just binged the source material for all the games and just put it together without showing any deeper understanding for the medium. So yeah, it's kind of sort of like a microcosm for the whole thing. It's we don't know what to put in for this part. Just put in a licensed song from the 80s. Just lazy filmmaking. Try harder with an IP as recognizable as Mario, but no, it made its money. It's fine. It's rewarded. It's validated. So this is just okay. This is just the industry standard.
Wait,
the bare minimum.
Are you saying there can't be any pop songs at all?
It's completely out of place, especially when they went through the trouble to make an orchestral score that adapted music from the games. Why put in licensed music into Mario? It just completely clashes with the identity of what the games are.
I like the pop songs.
Yeah, okay. That tells me everything I need to know.
I think the big tragedy is the only original thing in the movie, that being the Jack Black Peaches song, is almost certainly the worst thing in it. It's the one time they tried to be original, they completely fucked it up.
Song
Taking risks is bad.
He didn't even do the deep voice anymore. He's just singing as himself.
Yeah. It's pretty bad.
Just having the whole song be peachy, peachy, peaches, peaches, peaches. Okay, there's one word.
Yeah, we can all agree on that one. It's bad.
Yeah.
Should have put a pop song in there.
Yeah, I guess so. Go back to the lyrical stylings of like Kickapoo, like get a little more creative.
Yeah, you should have had him singing Phil Collins. On the piano.
Really anything other than Peaches.
I mean, he still makes really good music. It's just weird how that song.
Yeah, they had Jack Black sing a song, and he had no actual input over making a song. Imagine, like, what a waste! This movie's just such a waste.
Well, you
That's why
think
it's so
they
frustrating.
just wrote the song for him?
I was under the impression he improvised that.
Yeah, they probably just. I don't know.
It does
maybe,
kind of sound like an improvisation in the studio.
Okay, so maybe maybe he wanted to do a different song, but he already recorded this one, and then they refused to pay him for anything else. And that's what
Or
happened.
they were satisfied with mediocrity.
Yeah, they loved it. I mean, everyone apparently loves it, so I guess it works out. They
Everyone,
just-
yeah.
So, what does that tell you, Florian? If everybody loved it, and it was not good in your opinion, and nobody had a problem with it,
Well,
what do
clearly,
you think about that, Florian?
If people who call themselves critics here all agree it's mediocre, what do you think?
We're all wrong, obviously.
I guess so.
It's clearly a masterpiece of a song.
Emp, what do you think of this
Clearly a masterpiece.
characterization about you? Florian said Emp is toxic radioactive goo who is never happy.
Yeah, I have this toxic green aura around me because I've
At
been
all
corrupted.
times.
Like the Joker. I've been corrupted. I wasn't always green, you know. But all these crappy movies, The Rise of Skywalker, another prime example, all these crappy, awful, mediocre movies that everyone thinks is good. All the normies, they go out and say, oh, it's the best thing ever. Oh, I can't offer a reason in more than 3 sentences why I like it, but I give it a good score anyway. I pay to see it 7 times in the theater.
I
Up
like
at
the
box
pop
office.
songs, okay?
Return on investment. So I am toxic. I'm toxic that I live in a world where $100 million gets spent on a movie and it's still just as much of a piece of crap as anything else, as something with a $2 budget.
See, I thought my description was correct, and I didn't think he would object to it.
I am toxic. I've been made toxic by this society that doesn't care about
It's a
quality,
toxic Avenger.
doesn't care about delivering a good product.
Kino, what do you think of this characterization of you from Florian? He's doing an impression of you, and he says,
Okay.
I expect something to be completely fucked up every time, otherwise I'll be pissed.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know,
what was his suggestion? Torture?
that's actually pretty accurate.
He said that Mario should have been a stalker.
I mean, that was definitely from his video. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. I don't watch movies unless they're basically NC-17. If they're anything below that, they don't have like, you know, disturbing sexuality, disturbing
No children
violence.
under 17. That should be just the standard for all movies.
Honestly, if that's not the case, I honestly just cannot watch the film. I mean, never mind that my favorite movie is literally rated G. Never mind that, but
Which one is that?
no, for every
Babe,
other movie,
Pig in
that's
the
only
City?
movie I make the exception for.
Solo is rated G?
Oh, shit.
Imagine.
Come and Sneed?
Come and Sneed.
I mean, he's not gonna like it if you come and sneed.
Well, my opinions on movies may be wrong, but my opinions on my fellow people on here are certainly correct.
Wait. You're admitting defeat? You're saying you're wrong?
Oh,
Did I say wrong? I meant unpopular. Which is
I mean,
the
you
same
said
thing.
wrong.
But he did say that. It's on the
Yeah,
record.
Yeah, unpopular and wrong are definitely the same thing. Yeah.
Well, you
At
said
one
it.
point, you said
You were clearly thinking it.
you
but
are
you tried to
literally
change
the
it to
dumbest
different words
person in
last
the
moment.
world.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, you said Emp is
that-
literally the dumbest person in the world.
Well, that was a pretty dumb quote. I was responding to. I won't take that part back.
Okay, I guess to end this, if Ash is on the journey to find the perfect Pokemon, which Pokemon would that be, Florian?
Well, I thought it was Mewtwo, wasn't that?
Mewtwo's the
story?
perfect one?
I mean, I thought that was like the one they bred to be perfect, right? In that one movie.
I guess so. Was that the plot of that movie, E-Rich?
Detective
swear-
Pikachu.
I swear he caught him in the end, so it must have been right. Did he? not
Ash
catch him?
caught
They
Mewtwo?
Well, maybe that's my fan fiction. Okay, he just became the ultimate trainer and he caught Mewtwo.
Well, Emp, you have anything you want to plug this week? You got anything coming out on Downward Diary?
I have a video where I make scathing complaints about people on Twitter.
Hell
And
yeah.
also some more podcasts.
Kino, what do you have coming out?
Later this week, I have a video coming out on the Literally Me films of Mads Mikkelsen, my favorite actors. I'm recording that later tonight.
Yeah, that's how his name is pronounced. It's wild because I just said Mads the entire time, and that's apparently wrong.
Hey, I'm mad about Mads, even if he changes his name.
Pretty strange name.
What are we going to see on the Anti-Reviews channel this week,
It's
Florian?
a normal name.
Well, I'm going to be defending The Little Mermaid from the Critical Drinker, so that's going to be a big video.
Okay.
Front.
And if you want to see another 5-star review of Into the Spider, whatever the fuck, go check out E-Rich on Letterboxd.
Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah.
constantly writing shit on there.
Yeah, 5-star review on that fucking 3.5-star movie. Thanks.
Which one?
The new Spider-Man! It's not no fucking
3.5
5-star
stars.
movie!
3.5 stars. What
It's
the fuck?
good, but
it
it's
doesn't
not
have an
amazing. Yeah, it's not even a full picture, dude!
3.5
For fuck's
stars.
sake!
It wastes so much time at the beginning and then at the end, and then oops, it forgot to have a proper ending.
Okay,
Fucking
isn't this
no
for a different
way.
episode? Isn't this?
Yeah,
for a different
let's save this for Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh,
To
damn.
be continued.
Yeah, next time
You want to
it's
plug
Kino.
anything, E-Rich?
Yeah, just follow me on Twitter at TZARREVAN.
And thanks everybody for wasting your Sunday doing this. Bye
yeah.
everybody.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Bye.